Did you know teachers aren't humans? They're not allowed to show stress or age, have health problems, show fear, waste time, and most of all, fail. They're not even allowed to go to the bathroom. But that's okay, because we're here to talk about how we're all just playing a role. And at 3 o'clock, we get to be us again. 40 years ago, two 8-year-old boys were bored out of their minds in school, and they vowed one day they would do something about it. They did it to honor their friends. They did it to honor their classmates. They did it for the love of learning. I'm Matt, and this is Rob, and 40 years later, we get our turn, but now we're playing teacher.
Recording in progress.
Yes, it is. Recording is in progress, and
sorry. Wow.
Can I do
the fastest interruption of all time.
Can I introduce the show, Brookie?
It's like 0.1 seconds.
Well, why don't you introduce the show, Brookie? Go ahead. What do we say? Go ahead.
You do it.
No, the audience will wait. Brookie wants to.
No, go for it, Maddie.
Thank you. It's welcome to Playing Teacher. I'm Matt. This is Rob here, and this is Brookie, who wants to say welcome to Playing Teacher.
Wait, Brookie, do you have a microphone?
Oh.
No,
you can hear
she
me,
does.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're
just using your earbud, your ear.
Yeah,
okay.
I have
AirPods,
to get a full setup.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know you sent it to me, but things happened, and then I never ordered it. So the picture that you guys put up, our listeners can't see it unless they're on YouTube and they can view it. Right. It's a picture of, Maddie, Rob, and Mr. Salmon sitting in the car.
Salmon. It's a lady, by the way. Go ahead.
Yes.
I mean, the giant eyelashes might have given it away, but
I mean, you never know.
Yeah, true. It's true.
But I'm in the trunk.
We drove around with this in the car.
Why am I in the trunk?
So first of all, I've asked you to send pictures. You sent like one picture. Okay. It's or no, you didn't even send this. This is something I had from school. Okay. So I had to insert you into this picture somehow. So I actually created this black thing here. This black on the bottom here. That's not the car. I made that. I drew that in. And then I stuck your head there. So it's kind of like, it would be like you're sitting in the trunk of the smart car. Right. Looking out of that tiny window.
Hi, everyone.
Kind of like a child seat in the back, almost.
The alternative, I tried putting her face over the salmon's body, and it just didn't look like.
I was very close with Sam the salmon.
Yeah.
I could see.
Yeah. You guys have a nice week?
Very close. Yeah. It's been nice. Yeah.
And
good.
Both of you saw Karate Kid last weekend, right?
Yes.
We did. Yes, we did.
Yes, we did.
And what do you guys give it? Thumbs up, thumbs down?
I would give it a thumbs up.
Thumbs
up.
But
I mean, for me, I feel like it's a way to continue a saga almost, and and I'm up for any Karate Kid. Right. Would it rank if I go back to the 80s in those? Maybe close to number 3, but it wouldn't be my style, but I still loved it anyway, but I thought there was some parts of it that were rushed. To tell the story in a quick way. I would have liked them to slow it down. But it's an hour and a half, action film, a lot of kung fu, which you would like, Broogie. Simple formula, very simple story, but anything Daniel LaRusso, the character is coming back. Now combined with Jackie Chan, I'm all for.
Did they say Daniel's son at all?
I don't know, actually. I don't.
Did Jackie Chan call him Danielson when he went to go see him?
I don't think
he would call him Daniel. He definitely wouldn't call him Daniel.
You know what's interesting about this, though? So So Jackie Chan played well, Jackie Chan kind of like played the role of Mr. Miyagi. He wasn't called Mr. Miyagi, but he played that role in the version of Karate Kid with Jaden Smith, right?
Mr.
Yeah.
Han, Mr. Han.
So he was
Yeah.
Mr. Han, and so basically the Jaden Smith movie was basically it was like a mirror image of the original Karate Kid, but it was just different actors and different names, right? And at different places. But it wasn't meant to be. I think it was meant to be a remake of the Karate Kid, though. But
Okay.
what
Yeah.
they did with this movie, though, is they extinguished that, and they basically said, no, it wasn't a remake. It's just it's a side story. You know what I mean? Like of Mr. Han and this other kid, but it's like kind of funny because Mr. Han and Mr. Miyagi both happen to be like, janitors who lost their wife and their son in the same exact kind of way. And, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
and they basically have the same exact background because they're the same person in writing.
And yeah.
But now
You know,
they're
what I
being,
you know what I found interesting. Also, Mr. Miyagi wasn't called Mr. Miyagi by Mr. Han. He was called Sensei Miyagi,
yeah.
which and you don't hear that too often.
Right.
I didn't come to see Sensei Miyagi. I came for you. And so that even threw me hearing Sensei
Yeah.
Miyagi. I only used to hearing Mr. Miyagi.
You have to
Yeah,
suspend disbelief a little bit, and be a fan in order to,
yeah,
really enjoy the movie.
yeah.
Right.
No,
All right.
I
Cool.
still
I'll
I
go see it. I'll definitely see it. Thanks for that Rotten Tomato review.
No problem. Um, Wait, is that why you tried to interrupt Matt so quickly? Or did you have something
with
else?
the welcome, you just couldn't wait to.
Or did you have
No,
something
I
else?
really wanted to know why I was in the trunk on this
Oh,
picture.
okay, okay. But you said before we started that you had something that you immediately wanted to talk about or ask us or something.
Yeah, it was why am I in the trunk?
Oh, okay. You've been saving that then.
Well,
I don't
just
think you're
when you
in the
popped
trunk.
this picture.
Isn't that like is that the trunk or the back? Oh no, it's a two. Yeah, okay, you're in the
Yeah,
trunk.
it's a
Never mind. Yeah.
two-seater. There's no back,
Mm,
basically it's a pretty small trunk too.
yeah. Sorry, Brooke.
So
You look happy though.
it's like when if
Yeah.
did you ever sit in the back of a station wagon when you were a kid? Like
Yes.
like a
Face
proper station
backwards.
wagon and you're facing
Yeah.
backwards and you're like
Yeah.
waving to the cars behind you and it's like no seat belts. Like
I threw up. I got car sick next to my whole life. I would throw up.
Those were the best. I don't know if my parents definitely had a station wagon. We did not have the back seats, but I remember riding in cars with the back seats and looking out the back window. But we used to lay in the
yeah, you
back
just
and
sit
like
back there.
sleep.
Even if there was no
Yeah,
seat, you just sit back there and
like
look
hanging
out.
out in the back of the car,
Yes.
no seat belts,
Right.
bumping around.
I have a friend, Michelle that I grew up with, right? And she I'm still friends with her. And this poor girl, she would always sit next to me and she never complained. I would always throw up everywhere we went and she would have the bag there. Childhood friends. I got to give it up for Michelle. Thank you. I call her Mish. But yeah, but I
That's really
puke
nice
everywhere.
that
Yeah,
she was.
I grew out of it though at a certain point. But man, if you have that as a kid, it really stinks.
She was your bag holder for your vomit.
Yeah, more
I
or
was for
less.
my friends. That
Uh,
was my job. Like when they got sick, I would hold the bag for them.
did you like say, did you say did you complain or did you just went with
No,
it and
I mean, we were older and also
you were older when it happened? No, we were like
when like,
Yeah.
eight
no,
or
I
nine
don't mean
years
like
old.
car. I mean like when we were in
That's different. That's
college,
going
like
out with your
car.
friends,
She's,
having a.
she's
That's one of
talking
those
about
nights, Brooch. All
she's
right.
talking about something
That was
else.
like with us. We held the bag for you.
I would rub their backs. It's gonna be okay.
That's a
No.
different.
You would hold their
No,
hair. Is that
Hold their
something?
ponytail back. Yeah,
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 yeah.
don't take away Mish's journey. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. She just diminished Mish's role completely. You know,
Come
yeah. Sorry,
on.
Mitch.
It's all right.
No, she's the best.
No,
all right.
yeah. That's being a good friend.
Maddie, you want to
Yeah, no, definitely. Interesting topic today, and I think a lot of teachers are going to identify with this, and I think even students. So it's calling out from school or work. Um, and we'll leave it at that. Just not feeling well, you calling out, or you just taking a mental health day, and we'll start with that.
Can you describe for a non-teacher audience what you mean by mental health day?
That means you want to bang your head in the wall because if you go in that day, you will probably have a breakdown. But no, okay, this job is so intensely stressful at certain times, and you don't really get a mental health day. It's not in. How many days do you get per year for sick? You get 1 day a
10.
month.
One per month,
Yeah.
yeah.
One per month. But three of them, let's just to get it straight, three of them are personal days, right? And then you get
Right.
seven sick days, right?
Yeah.
And then, all right, okay.
And don't forget the quote unquote COVID days that we get now. Like if you have COVID or you have COVID like symptoms, you can call out, and that does not come out of those 10 days.
Really?
That
Doesn't come
out of your
doesn't
car.
come out of
Yeah.
Wow.
yeah, they call it the
Yeah.
car, right? Okay, all right. All right. So mental health day actually it doesn't exist. It's not a real thing. It's just you have to make up an excuse or just call it's your sick day. But you can't call out and say I'm going to take a mental health day because if I come in today, I am going to go freaking nuts. If I have to see these students or they're getting to me. So some people don't say anything. And I've learned this from people. They just say I'm taking a sick day. And I didn't even know you were until years later. I never did that. Like a senior teacher that I was working with and I was sharing an office with, she told me like right at the end of her career before she was retiring. It's like, because I was trying to think of what I should say. I was like, no, I use this excuse. And I really need to get out, one day, and she's like, you don't say anything. And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, you just take a sick day. You just say I'm taking a sick day. I was like, yeah, but they're going to ask me. I was like, you don't have to say anything. And it didn't occur to me that I could do that until later.
That's like an interesting, it's like an interesting teaching versus other, like in other places, other workplaces, you wouldn't get into why. You would just say, I'm sick. I'm not coming in today, I'm sick.
But I knew a lot of people that didn't do that. They came up with excuses, they would say things,
especially early teachers.
Yeah. Right. So like when I first started, I used to do that too, where I would like come up with an excuse but I was like really sick and I would say, oh, I have the flu, I have this. But then later on, like why was I coming? Like it's none of their business.
Well,
go ahead, bro. Rob, go ahead.
No, it gets tricky though, because like there are days like, let's say you're taking a mental health day, or let's just say you're taking a day for any other reason, right? Like you have an appointment or whatever. So you're not actually sick at all. You know what I mean? And you're going to be out and about doing things. Then there's like this fear, because we know teachers who have like called out sick and then they've been like, it had been determined that they were on vacation or something. And
they were like,
you get in trouble. You know what I mean? Like, beach. Right. Like they post pictures of themselves like it's like Bermuda or something,
Yeah, that's overlapping the personal and the sick days. You can't, like a sick day you actually have to be sick, and a personal day you better not be. You better not be moonlighting as a professional wrestler.
I put up the Instagram post, Matt, so Matt sent me, I don't know if you saw this, Briggy, he sent me a string of different like funny excuses for why someone might call out. He's like laying on the couch and he's trying to figure out, and every time I watched it 50 times, every time I watch it I'd laugh at a few of them, but one of them in particular, the last one, he says, he's like, I think I swallowed some shampoo. Like the way you said it, it was like,
I think I swallowed some shampoo in the shower.
Yeah, or one of our listeners fell into a
wall. One of our listeners says, one of our listeners wrote in that they have a that they have a list for just when they call out,
ready to go.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah. That's so I'm sure a lot of people do, but
I wrote back, sounds familiar.
Mm-hmm. I remember one time, And so this is kind of tangential, but it's not. There was one time when I had this opportunity, and it was kind of somewhat early on at the school, and Carlene was going to be going to Hamburg in Germany for like 4 or 5 days with work. And
Mm.
so I had an opportunity to basically meet her there, right? But I would have to take off 1 or 2 days, you know? And so I made the decision instead of trying to call out, I just went in to the principal and I said, I want to take these 2 days off for this reason. Like I was just completely honest, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I could tell that the person felt like they had been put into an awkward position a little bit, you know, but it wound up working out because you know, it was kind of my thing was kind of like I'm going, you know what I mean? But I didn't want to lie to you. I want to tell you the truth, and you know the tone was kind of like, you know, let's not make this the thing that that destroys our relationship because we got along very well, you know what I mean? So you know what I mean? But it turned out fine, and it was an amazing trip. You know,
Yeah,
I
but
was
I know
basically
you.
in
If she
Hamburg for
said
40 hours. You know, I came back.
if
You
she said
know,
no, if she said no, you've been like, fuck you, I'm going
I would have gone
anyway.
anyway, yeah,
Right.
but it was like a calculated risk. So because I thought in the long term, in the long run, it would be appreciated that I didn't like lie or whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Like other
you
people do. And then there's pictures, like you said, on the internet of them being away. And it's like,
yeah,
what are you doing?
it's a lot of pressure when you make that call in the morning. You
yeah,
like it gets to the point when you feel like you're almost like the little kid doing something wrong when you have to make the call, right? And
yeah,
Yes.
I'm and there was this they always change the protocol several, like sometimes it goes for a few years, then there's a new protocol where you have to email and call. And I
mm,
just felt like there was this, what if you're not faking and you're actually really sick,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Right.
Like if you're really in a lot of trouble, how can you email 8 different people and then and then let them know where the plans are, and then also phone, do a phone call and let them know where you are, and like if you're like half dead, like by the time you finish it you will be dead. So it's amazing how many things they got to the point. I remember there was like a whole, like list of things you had to do, and you just want to stay there on the couch and forget that you have to do all that. Might as well go into work. There were some times when I was like, it's too much. I just might as well go in.
what time would you call?
Pressure.
Because like
Well,
Well,
then
you
it,
had
and
to call by a certain time,
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah,
right, right, you got that. And then there was also, you don't want to get certain people on the phone, so you actually knew when to call so you can get the right person on the phone.
yeah. Could you call the
There was
night before or no?
They would prefer it, but then it became a thing like, well, you don't want to get too much information. You don't want them to email you or anything or ask you anything. So it's
Yeah.
it's almost better not to.
I think I got to the point where because like we've talked about this, like having a great relationship with the payroll secretary, like I
Right,
think got to the
Yeah.
point where I would say I'm probably going to be out tomorrow. So I'm not
right.
feeling great, you know
Oh,
what I
that's
mean?
good.
Like
Yeah, yeah.
and
That's when you
so
have that relationship. And I'm talking about those years, it was different for me.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
talking about years when you don't have that relationship.
Right,
Yeah.
Then
right.
it's like survival. It's like if I go in, I sometimes knew if I was going to be out 6 days before based on how bad a class was, because I would actually say to myself, like, you know what? I'm taking a 2 week break from this class. And like, that's how I survived for so many years. And I'm like, have a great day, everybody. No, it's great. No, we'll see you next. We're going to continue the project. Oh, absolutely. We're going to continue this
Yeah.
project next week. I'm like, well, there's a week where it's a holiday, and then, whoa, look at that. I'm not going to see you for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. And you work that out with, and that's your own little thing. But I know I'm not the only cluster teacher that thinks that way. It's like a break from that to survive.
Yeah.
With it, it's
Well, yeah, or if you need a mental health day, you decide, there's always
could be spur of the
one
moment. Yeah.
there's always no, well, the opposite from what I'm talking about. There's always one day of the week that is the worst day that you have, like
Oh
schedule
yeah.
wise.
Yeah.
So
They start to figure it out. Well, that's the other thing then. the reason that it becomes a problem when you call out, this is all a system. It's not just taking the day, you're throwing a whole thing off then on who's going to cover you. One person taking off can throw off like 4 or 5 people, because if they're not going to get a sub or it's a budgeting issue, people are covering different classes, and it throws off their day completely, and then also they know if a sub's coming to the room, if it's not you, or if they're not even going to go to the classroom, that means their classroom is going to be a mess, and it's a whole thing.
That's pretty considerate. Like if you're if you want to take a day, or if you're really sick, that's really considerate to think about. Like,
I'm not saying I was considerate. I'm just saying I was aware of it, Bergie.
Yeah,
right.
I'm still doing it, basically. I'm just aware. That's not any better. I'm just aware how screwed up it's going to be, and I feel, for certain people, I might feel bad. Other people, I'm like that, maybe didn't treat me that great. I'm like, well, have fun. The sub's going to figure out how bad your class is, because, you have no math.
I remember under our original principal, like no one was ever absent. It was like, I don't know if we were back then. I don't know if we were intimidated, or she scared a lot of people, but no one, like that board that they kept up of like who's absent in the school building was like rarely filled out with names of people absent.
Remember too,
you go ahead.
No, remember too, like in terms of the something, like I think, I don't know when it started exactly, but it got to the point too where this was like scratching each other's back sort of thing. Like if someone was out, especially if there was a cluster out, it would just be a mass prep. Like, and we like, so like if the gym teacher was out, it would be like I would come in that morning, and then payroll secretary would be like, or a principal would be like, oh, so-and-so is out. Can you do mass prep today? And then, then I would basically, with one period, cover that person's entire day.
Well, I would know when I come back, basically, if, Herbie was like on the floor like this, just completely laid down, and there were things all over the room, like, or if, they used my room, or if it's perfect, oh, that means they did a mass prep. And I would always peek in and teach next door to a teacher. I was like, so I was out, what did they do for me? How'd they cover me? I was like, mass prep. I was like, okay. And if it was completely a mess, sometimes I'd ask, like, which sub did they use? Like, what happened? Yeah. And they would tell me. I was like, and then I would know. So then I would know also if I would kind of know then when that sub comes in, I need 20 minutes to clean up my room. You know what I mean? Like, or if I knew I was going to be out, lock up certain things just in case.
Yeah. There were some teachers that were like chronically absent. Like they were out more than they were in.
What's the most you've ever been out in a row?
Not many days in a row. I would space it. Somebody told me when I first started teaching something that always stayed with me, and I tried almost to do this, and it was a very wise thing. It was like, the wise man just giving you advice, right? And he said, if you want to survive in this profession, take a mental health day before October ends. And that always stayed with me. And I never really understand it until year after year, like why you do it. Because you just feel so like it's so needed. You know what I mean? It reminds you that, life is outside of here too. And you got to keep, and it's better for the kids. You know what I mean? You do better that way, just to keep.
So back to the question.
Yeah.
He totally hijacked the question. What is the longest number of days?
Love you, Maddie.
You've ever...
Love you, Maddie.
What's the longest number of days you ever
I'm just gonna pretend that didn't happen, and I'm gonna hang out with my chicken.
Without COVID, I'm gonna say probably 3 or 4 when I had the flu.
Okay.
So, like,
four. Flu. Yeah, serious.
Yeah, the flu really killed. Like I probably get the flu like every other year.
You have some lung issues, right?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So
like 3 or 4 days in a row. Yeah.
Matt, what about you? Do you think you hit
what was the question?
The most number of days in a row.
I'm kidding.
Or it could be, or it could be in a week too. Like it could be like you were out for 2 days, came back, and then you were like, oh no, I'm still sick. And so let's just say within a week. Yeah.
I get it. All right. Um,
That's it.
probably. I don't remember. Besides COVID, having that kind of time out,
Right.
and then so when I had COVID, it was probably, I don't know, it's probably like whatever the amount of time that they told you to stay out for, because I
Yeah.
was in the thick of it. What was it, like 2 weeks or something like that?
I mean,
You
I
guys
wasn't
Yeah,
remember?
there, so
10 days.
I don't
COVID.
remember.
10
Yeah,
days.
10
Yeah,
days.
yeah.
Yeah.
I remember. Yeah, I did the full 10. So there, that would be the longest.
Have you ever had
Yeah.
2 days in a row that you can
No, I'm
remember?
saying that I did
No,
10.
not
It was a
COVID,
Not
not COVID.
COVID,
Oh,
Maddie.
yeah, yeah. I've
Okay.
been, and for actually being sick, like, yeah, yeah. I've had 2 days in a row.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about student absences?
Mm.
Oh,
Like,
yeah. I mean, we've worked in a school, obviously, that had some serious attendance issues.
I work with attendance. That's part of my responsibility as a counselor. And like there's so many kids that are chronically absent. It's insane how many
Is there such a
students in
thing
the
as
school.
a truancy officer anymore, Broogie?
Not for elementary. There's like a dean of attendance in high schools and middle schools, but not. And so I don't know if they're called truancy officers anymore, but
I'm talking about in the police department.
I don't
I
know.
think like my dad would tell stories about like true like a truancy officer, like being a person who just they're looking for kids
That's
on the
their job.
street basically, and like, why aren't you in
Yeah.
school, that kind of thing.
There's an education department in like in the precincts. So
Yeah.
I don't know if one of them's, does that. Have you guys ever missed school when you were younger? Did you ever call out of school for like some outrageous reason or like lie to your parents about something?
Like
Well,
the time I tried to put the thermometer on a light bulb, and it like came out to like 106, and my mom was like,
oh, you did a
okay.
Ferris Bueller. You did a whole Ferris Bueller
I
thing.
tried. It failed. I've tried and failed basically because I think I had a test or something, and I knew I was going to fail it. But I don't know. But
Oh, I did The Great Escape in sixth grade. I did Ferris Bueller's Day. I think I talked about that once on the show before. But yeah, we had planned out for about 6 months with my buddies,
really,
like just
oh,
to take off for the day. And this was a well thought out plan. And we got away with it. We went to the
wow.
city we had like the best day,
It's
best
awesome.
day out. Before we graduated elementary school, we planned a day. Man, it was like top secret stuff.
How did you pull it off though? Like, what were some of the.
Well, we had a meeting spot,
Yep.
and then we were gonna, like, and just keep walking to the subway. And we didn't go together just to throw people off. And then once we met, we knew, do not stop to talk about, to anybody, because
Mm-hmm.
a lot of our friends would be around and stuff, and we're going the opposite way. Keep walking, keep walking, keep walking. Like, move as fast as you can. And then we didn't sense that freedom till the subway doors closed, and then it's like we made it. And then we went crazy. We were like, we did it, we did it.
Wait,
So
so
a
like
lot of,
how did you
Yeah.
call the
Yeah.
school
How
to
did you get
say
away
like
with it?
what did you yeah.
we didn't. We just went. We just didn't show up. We
So the
just
school
risked
never
them.
called your
Yeah.
family
Like
and said,
if I
"Hey,
was
Matt is
absent,
missing."
right.
Like, yeah.
I don't remember. I'll be honest with you. I don't know if they did. I just know we did it. I don't. I didn't even
You
say
had
we were the.
Or
like a
like
case
you
note.
didn't like you didn't try to you didn't have to like forge an absence
This
note
is
or
the this,
anything.
no, but this is the '80s. They didn't call if you were out. All right, they
No,
called for you
I
guys
mean
if you
my
were.
school, oh my God.
Yeah,
Like
Well, you
exactly.
if
went to
you
a
were
Catholic
out,
school, right, Rob?
yeah. But even if
I,
even if it wasn't like that they call, it was like you have to bring in a note.
No.
Like, you know what I mean? Like signed by your parents that says,
no.
basically the reason or the excuse,
Yeah.
you
Well,
know.
I'll ask my buddy because I still know
Yeah.
him, and I'll say, what did we do? Did see if he remembers, like
I
if we did anything,
That's
because I'm
why I
not
thought
sure.
you said you had to plan it out for 6 months because I was like, oh,
No, no, the planning out part was like like when it was going to be. Like our plan was just to not get caught that
Oh,
morning
I
going
see.
because
Okay.
everyone was around. So
Yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
was like, how do everybody just talks. So we just didn't want them to tell us. Our plan was just to get to the subway
Yeah.
without everybody turning us in.
Right.
Like
Right.
so it
Right.
was like how can we, everyone's going to ask us where we're going. So nobody should know. No, nobody can know. That's where our minds were. We have to get to that subway because because everybody was everywhere, so it was like we have to just, you've got to watch out for this person. So it was like just sneaking to the meeting spot and having a way to get there was the plan,
Did you
like as far as
pretend that you were Abe Froman, the sausage king of
Sausage King
Chicago?
of Chicago.
Uh,
Oh my God, I
what
love
about
that
you,
movie so
Broogie?
much.
That's a great movie. Yeah.
Um, I, no, well, one day I was a senior and it was called Senior Cut Day.
Okay,
So
so you
every
didn't cut.
single senior, so I never cut. And we went to
Well,
Great Adventure in New Jersey.
but let me ask you this:
Like,
in Austin's high school, is it like an unspoken? Because this is I'm experiencing this now with Sam, and maybe and Dill too. Is it an unspoken thing that at the end of the year they don't care if the kids come to school?
yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah,
Because Sam's basically like, as long as he doesn't have more than 23 absences, he can play a fall sport. Like he can do cross country. So basically, all the kids who want to play fall sports are basically just they're calling, they're just like, so he's downstairs sleeping right now. He just said, I'm not going to go in tomorrow because at this part of the year, if he went in, he would be sitting in one class for 3.5 hours doing nothing,
yeah,
and then in another class for 3.5 hours doing nothing.
yeah. So
and I
I had
think
a situation with Austin where I'm not going to get into the story, but I'll just say this, that he he said everyone's calling out tomorrow.
Yeah.
I shouldn't go to school. And I was like, you're going to school. Like I don't care what any other kids are
Yeah.
doing and what their parents say. Like, you're going to school. You're not sick. Go. So what they did was they piled all the kids that did go to school that day
Yep.
into the auditorium,
Right.
and he sat in that auditorium for the entire day,
7 hours. Yep.
did nothing, and they ended up getting in trouble as a result, and like because of something stupid that they did.
Yeah.
And so like since then I'm like, fuck this, you're not going to school, like, no. So, and that's always at the end of the school year when
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
testing and doing these stupid like spirit weeks.
Yep.
Like, it's a waste of time.
Yeah.
So yeah.
well,
Meanwhile, if you were going on vacation or something and you wanted to take him out for a Friday, I don't know about your
Right.
school, they act like you're like doing something that's worthy of the death penalty. Like it's like, oh my God, like
Listen, so like I'm totally like, I understand my kids have to go to school, right? But also don't say that my child has to go to school and waste their time. Like,
exactly
if
right,
they're not learning, why is there a
right.
school day?
Well, even
Dylan,
yeah.
go ahead, Rob.
No, I was gonna say even on a normal school day, like Sam goes to school, he comes home, and then we run through his day, and he'll say, okay, run me, and then I'll go, okay, biology, math, and we run through every period, and he tells me what they're doing, and I'm totally honest. Like there's times when I go, oh, that sounds like a cool assignment, like that's that's a teacher who cares, that's good, but then a lot of the teachers, like when I hear what they're doing, I'm like, that sounds like I'll say this to him. That sounds like the laziest teaching I've ever heard of. You know what I mean? Like that's a complete waste of time, and like it just fortifies the fact that school is a game, basically, that kids have to learn how to play, right? But so then I get aggravated when like if we're going, like we were going to the Grand Canyon with my family. Like we're going to be doing things all day long that are once in a lifetime amazing, and I don't want to hear shit from the school about that he's missing something. And like he's not missing anything amazing. He's missing basically, you know, like I don't know, tolerating 7 hours worth of nonsense. You know what I
Nonsense.
mean? So,
Dylan right now is like I love his school. I love his high school right now.
mm-hmm.
Like he actually will choose to go based on things he's doing. He's piloting like his own
Oh
programs.
yeah, you
Like
told me
like
this.
he's
Yeah,
yeah, he started a store for the middle
yeah,
school because they weren't getting snacks at lunch. and like so he makes the school like money.
That's cool. Yeah, yeah,
Last week
yeah.
he said, so I'll ask him at the end of the day, like, how much did you make? I was like, we made $91.
Wow.
Wow. Is he an officer? Like, is he a president or
He's
treasurer
on
or
the
something?
student council,
Yeah.
and
Amazing.
he's the only freshman that's on it. So he's recruiting other freshmen to join
Yeah, yeah,
now.
yeah.
Oh, Maddie, that's so
To
good.
get this, he and he does the announcements in the morning, right? So he actually will text the assistant principal himself and like say like, listen, I feel horrible, I'm not going to be able to make it in the morning, you know what I mean, like I'm 'cause when he was like sick, and like I'm like he'll they text back and forth, him and the assistant principal will send him when she can't, if she's at a meeting, will send him a direct, like the codes to open up like in the morning to do the announcements, and will text him like certain messages and things going on. So I don't have to like force him to go. He'll make his decisions on certain things that he's doing for the school. He did the school orientation yesterday, so he's very, very involved,
That's great.
and he's getting an award. We're going to an award ceremony like next week. So he's like,
Congrats to Dill.
thank you,
That's
thank you. He
great.
doesn't know it. He's come into his own in
Dude,
high
that's
school.
awesome.
He's like, and it fits like his career, the way he thinks, with just coming up with things. And I always tell him, just get involved,
So like
and
that's a kid. So like your son is a kid who like, you know, he's going to school not just for academics, but he's
Right.
also going for the extracurriculars, and that's
Mm-hmm.
motivating him to actually go to school. And there are just so
yes,
many kids
yes,
who
he's just
aren't motivated
involved
to
now.
go.
Yeah. And that's
Yeah,
given him this different kind of confidence. Like he was always, but that is really just coming out now. So I'm excited to see like where it's going, and through this journey. But I'm like, so I love the school, and they go out, they take them places. They go on a trip every other week all year. They call it
that's
Exhibition
great.
Thursdays. So they take them somewhere,
That's awesome.
sometimes they just take a walking trip, you know what I mean? So I don't know, the stars align. We found this school, Brooklyn Collaborative, but it is the perfect school for him. And it's
Great.
also a great school.
Yeah.
So nothing bad to say about how they run it.
They're engaging him in so many ways, it's
Unbelievable.
It's great.
Unbelievable. I am so happy that he gets to be there for another 3 years. Yeah.
Awesome.
Something I've been looking forward to, Rugi, is
No, go ahead.
no, I want you to take us into
Yeah, I was going to.
yeah, I thought so.
So I created a Letterman style top 10 list of excused absences from children, why they missed school. All right.
Okay.
So I don't know if this is
Wait,
going to be like
this is based off real excuses?
yeah, yes.
Okay.
Okay. So number one, this is from
All
a
right.
fourth grade boy. I need to be excused because my menopause is making it hard to concentrate. Number two, I won't be in on Friday because I will be sick. Number
I
three,
like that. Forecasting.
I will be
forecast,
sick.
yeah.
I will be sick. Yes.
I will be sick. Number three, Henry stayed home because he had a stomach ache from eating too much frosting.
Oh, I've been there, done that.
We all understand, Henry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happened to me last night. All right.
Spirit
Yeah.
animal.
Oh wait, if this was Letterman style, I should be counting.
I know.
Down.
I was gonna say. I think.
It up.
Yeah.
All right, keep it this way. We'll do it next time.
Let's pretend that number 10 is the funniest one, even though that's not how anyone does it in the industry.
I'm going to do countdown. I'm going to switch it up. Number 7. I got lost. I got lost.
Just I got lost.
Number 6. I was helping my aunt with her Tinder profile.
Oh.
Takes a while.
Swipe left, swipe right.
It's a life lesson.
Yeah.
What am I on? Number 5. My dad forgot to do my homework. Number 4.
My mom would understand that,
Number 4, my sister peed on my Chromebook.
Oh.
Number 3, please
Can happen.
Please excuse my daughter. She fell asleep on the bus and was taken to the bus yard. Yo, that is so crazy.
And you hear that's that true story, because you hear that all the time.
Yes.
And I know that they have like checklists and things in place now, but you still hear it once in a while.
It's like dangerous.
The kid who it's like.
But how long was she there? Like, she didn't come in because what did she spend like 8 hours in.
Well, imagine you're a kid and like the bus driver closes up the door and leaves. Yeah. You're like Ant-Man in the van. Remember when when he wakes up in the van? It's been like 5 years, and he doesn't wake up, but
So she's basically saying, "Please excuse her. This morning she's screaming and has trauma from."
Please.
Number 2, right? No, yes. What am I on?
I don't know. I don't remember.
I don't know. This list went a little
Number
bit.
Number 2. And Rob could probably relate to this one. Cody was absent yesterday because we were out bowling until 2 a.m.
Yeah.
And number one reason for excused absences. Please excuse Lisa for being absent. She was sick, so I had her shot.
Oh, shit.
So that's your top 10. We're going to need music for that if we continue that segment.
No, we definitely have to do more top 10s. I like that.
Well, I guess how does the music work? Does it just play in the background, or does it come on like in
like when I watch
intro? Like, how does that work?
Or like top 10 or something, like some announcement.
We just need a sound effect that I can add on to in the editing.
Well, you do it sometimes at the ending. The music just starts.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I can add it.
So it's like it's in the background. Yeah, no, it sounds good. Sounds good.
Remember
we were we would mess around with it, and and it would just kind of stop.
We need a trademarked like
for top 10
mini intro for top 10.
Yeah.
All right. Oh.
Maybe a little riff on the piano and.
Yeah.
And then Maddie says something like top 10. I like when you did the siren the other day for the news. You're like, woo.
Breaking
news. And then we stopped a few times. We're not ready. Oh, I'm like, okay, I'll just do it again in a few minutes. It's time? No, it's not time.
I'm looking forward to being like in person like this. I'm hoping over the summer we can maybe get together one day and record together.
Yeah.
I'm actually missing your picture, though. I am missing the picture.
Oh, you mean this picture? Wait, I love how.
Why does it say dismissed? All right, come back now. Now I'm sad. Class dismissed, it says.
Yeah, that's there's a lot of details.
It didn't just say dismissed, it class dismissed.
There's details on this. There's details on this picture that even first of all, this picture was made as like the potential cover of the podcast, like when you look at it on Spotify or whatever. But then we replaced it. So this is like a relic. But not only is it a relic, there's like a lot of little Easter eggs on this that you can only see if you zoom in, which you just picked up on one.
Rob with like devil horns.
Yeah.
And a halo over Matt.
It's me and Matt's class picture when the photographer came to the school, we took a picture with the background, Oh,
right.
And then originally I had the horns on Matt's head and the halo on my head. And then we decided to switch it to be more fitting.
Yeah, you decided that wasn't accurate.
Yes, correct. I also purposely put the dunce cap on my head.
No, you're in the dunce head is on your head.
Yeah.
And then
because she looks like she has skiing goggles on, I put the winter cap on her.
Those are swimming goggles.
I know. I'm just saying, but there was no swim cap clip art in Canva. So yeah, and then I canceled that. I blurred out this bottom part of the window. There's more. We just can't see it, but actually,
See, my hand is around Rob's neck, and I'm kind of doing like a peace sign there. Let's see.
Yep. I missed that smart car.
Oh, that was great, man.
Here's a trivia. Broogie, where is the smart car located in this picture?
Oh, Jesus. All right,
Well, I know
hold on.
I know this
Hold
because
on.
I'm there.
Yeah.
Um, where is it located? I'm
Yes.
gonna say maybe in front of 239 or GRYC.
It's in the little alleyway of the GRYC.
Okay.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Do you know why I have a salmon next to me, Brie?
I mean, yeah, Rob was doing some sort of like super food,
Yep.
Super
SF
like,
foodies. Yep.
foodies. Yep.
Super foodies.
yeah,
Matt,
super
Matt,
food
I
thing.
wonder if we can
Yeah.
find these. Matt and I actually have videos
Mm-hmm.
of us taking these puppets out in Brooklyn and like in Prospect Park.
Interviewing them. Yep.
And
I got
Matt
involved
is
with him with a little
Yeah,
bit. Yeah.
Matt is talking. Matt is ventriloquist, like he's the talking broccoli, and he's interviewing a guy about what he thinks healthy foods are. It's actually
Yeah.
pretty funny.
Oh, like Murray from Sesame
That's
Street.
exactly was the
Yeah,
concept. Yeah, we started to do it and we would meet in
no
Prospect Park and do it. People would just
strangers.
talk to us.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
strangers. Yeah, Matt would
They,
be like, "Hey, can I ask
yeah.
you a question?"
Yeah, can I ask you? Yeah, I think I did like Igor's voice, almost
Yeah,
like a
yeah, yeah,
modified line. Hey, how are you? How are you? Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
like, do you eat broccoli? Like, what do you, And they would just tell me, what do you eat that's healthy? And and they would,
yeah. It'd be like a guy and his wife, and the guy would be like, "Oh, I have oatmeal sometimes in the morning," and I was like,
oatmeal. Yeah, Robert, we also did a video with, I think, together. It was fantastic. It was like, it was the broccoli.
"Yeah,
And you were strong as the broccoli, and I was I don't know what I was, but like, and you were impressing me with your strength, and we did. Do you remember that?
I
Like,
don't, I don't know."
like
Like, hey,
that.
I was like, can you do push-ups? Can you do push-ups? And you're like,
Kind,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, kind of.
I was like,
I mean,
uh,
I wish they
yeah.
have to exist somewhere, so we have to find it.
No, I think I have them. I think I have. Yeah, no, all right. We'll
I
we'll
used to so
we'll
I used
try
to
we'll try to
take
play it at some.
so first of all, do you guys I don't know if anyone in the audience there was a show called Lamb Chop. It was
Yeah.
like okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
the guy on the show who had Lamb Chop is the guy who made these puppets. So
Oh,
he's like a professional puppeteer, right? So he made these puppets were cost a fortune. Like so
I have one of them here. I named him Melvin the Mediator. I used him in school. You want to see him? Should I just pull him out right now?
wait, not a super foodie puppet.
No, but you gave me one. No, wait.
No.
You gave me this puppet. No, it's not one of those. No, okay.
No,
No, but
Sam the salmon and the broccoli, and then there was some other ones.
oh,
But I
okay.
would take these puppets out to schools in the car, and I would do a whole presentation for like 100 or 200 kids. Like, yeah, I would drive down to New Jersey. I would go to some schools of like people that we used to teach with who went to other schools, you know. And there was like all these activities that we would do with food, and I came up with a game, like a card game. It was like a whole thing.
did you have to do voices for the for the puppet?
Occasionally, yeah, like if I had the puppet like talking into the microphone, I would do voices of the puppets. Yeah.
I like
Sometimes I was hidden, like I would have them like the
Oh,
Muppets, like yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I like when we drove with the puppet and then we would stop, like it was like if we were on the highway and then, get
Oh
stuck
my
in traffic
God.
and then I would just turn the salmon towards someone
Yeah.
slowly.
Hey, how you doing?
Because she looks like she's flirting. You can see, if you're on YouTube right now,
I would do a
there
double
her
take for
eyelash.
sure.
Mhm.
Like, what the hell is going on in that car?
Wait, now I want to see Melvin though.
Oh, I'll show you Melvin. Hang on.
Yeah. Take out your puppets too, bro. Oh,
Make that?
you
Is
know
that
what?
like something you designed?
You know where I think that came from, Matt?
Yeah, I think something with Sam in like some kind of
Yeah.
puppet thing he
Like
said.
FAO Schwartz or something has like a Muppet making factory or whatever. And I think we went and designed our own Muppet and had it made and whatever. So
Right.
yeah, but it's
Yeah,
kind of cool because yeah.
he was I would use him in class as a kind of like Broogie. He was a mediator.
Mm-hmm.
So I would call him Melvin the mediator. But I kind of stole like the counselor's voice from South Park about Hi, yeah, I'm Melvin, the mediator. I'm a professional mediator. You guys getting along? Okay, all right. Wait, what's the problem? Oh, he smacked you? All right, wait. Well, I don't think we should do that. We got to talk out our problems. Yeah, we definitely have to talk it out.
Wait, is your hand
Are
in
you?
there?
Yeah,
Is your
there's a
hand
hand.
inside? Because he's not moving the mouth.
Oh yeah,
he's,
You're
he's
okay.
just
talking.
shaking the head. You're just shaking the head.
He's
Well,
like,
it's not very nice to be judgmental, okay? It's kind of hard to, I've been feeling a little bit of
it's
judgment from you, Mr.
it's reverse.
Monahan.
No, it's reverse ventriloquism. Like your mouth is moving and the puppet's mouth.
I know well, I never said I was good at it. I just said
You
that's why I work with 5 and 6 year olds. They bought anything.
Uh,
That's why Herbie. I'm you
Yeah.
totally see my mouth moving.
yeah.
I can't. You know what? I couldn't do that if I was. I couldn't be a ventriloquist. I'm looking around my room right now to see if I have any puppets.
I'm not a ventriloquist. I
No,
just did
know, but I'm
voices.
saying like I couldn't do it either. That must be really hard.
Wait, a future
Hello?
future. Hello. My name
you
is Robert.
no.
A future topic I want to do is things
Randy Savage. I can do Randy Savage. Yeah.
things that we wanted to be when we were younger, like when we grew, like things that we thought we might do professionally when we were younger. Because ventriloquist was one of my. I had a lot. of crazy ones.
Is that like your number one?
I was like the kid who would practice ventriloquism.
I didn't want to be a ventriloquist. Okay, that's interesting. No, I have a big list of things that I want to do. Also,
like people who were ventriloquists frightened me. Like those puppets, those dummies were really scary.
You ever see Jeff Dunham?
Yeah,
Jeff Dunham.
He has the pepper. Yeah, the
He's
pepper.
the old guy. What's the old guy's name?
Walter.
No. There's like a guy, somebody's in a box and he leaves him in the box. He's talking inside the box with all these different characters.
There's a woman, I don't know, I remember her name, but she's my favorite. I just know her from social media. I've also seen some kids like on like America's Got Talent. Remember
you read my mind. There was this girl on there.
Blonde girl.
I don't know.
Yes. Like Broogie.
She had a doll there, right?
She was so good.
Fantastic. Yeah.
That could have been you, Broogie.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got to work on the fear.
It was just those dummies with like the cuts here.
Oh,
they were almost like creepy.
No, you're really talking about like horror movie.
Yeah, and they were.
What was the?
I had like a generic. I had like Mozart doing a voice. He played a character in my class, but it was like horrible. I'll just do any generic like foreign voice, like I am a famous musician, and everybody.
Every single voice sounds the same.
I didn't say I was good at it, Bergie. All right, it's just what I did. You guys are making me feeling so. You guys are really making me. First of all, you more or less told me that I have.
Matt shrinking down. Look,
ADD. You more or less said I have early dementia, and ADD, and what? Rob, can you read me back up?
I was kind of saying, Broogies. Look, you're making Matt feel 2 inches tall.
Yeah.
I like these.
Glad you guys are enjoying yourself. I'm not going to do any more characters. Herbie, you're fired. You guys. Whoa, that's. Oh, now it's explicit. Anyway,
you guys make me laugh.
Just you know what I was going to make a reference to. That was another one of the bits that you did, Matt. That's on social. That's a reel that we made. Is where you're eating lunch alone, and Herbie's like, well, actually, there's two with Herbie that cracked me up. One is like, basically like you go, they didn't invite you, and you go, it's not that they didn't invite me, it's the schedule.
It's a schedule.
But that reminds me of like when a teacher, going back to teachers calling out. If a cluster called out, and I had to do a mass prep, that means, like you said, Matt, every single teacher that had that cluster that day would have their prep changed.
Yeah.
to a mass prep, and that would
Yes.
mess up people's days because like they might have gone to lunch with their friends, for example, and now they're eating by themselves or whatever, so
Right.
I would face some anger when I would come out from being off, like from the teacher, and like that would happen like almost, you know, like whenever I was out, there would be like one person that would usually be pissed off because it throws off their day, and but what are you gonna do? That's what it is.
So, do we have anything else for calling out or for kids being out or anything like
I,
that?
I, I do. I
Okay.
do. And I hate to end on a morbid note, but
Oh.
the evidence you have to bring in after somebody dies is
Oh,
ridiculous.
that's right. Oh my God. Yeah,
Oh
tell us.
shoot. Yeah, we didn't even talk
Dude,
about that.
they tell you now, I don't know if it happened years ago, but now when somebody dies and you go to a funeral and you come back, you have to bring evidence that you were at the effing funeral. I said fuck
Yeah.
before. I don't know why I'm saying effing now, but yeah, but you have to bring evidence back, right?
Right.
So it gets to the point, right? Especially if you're not cozy with the secretary, they get pretty harsh. Make sure you have evidence. Make sure you have evidence. So I literally, my friend's dad died and I'm at the funeral and I'm thinking that I have to get evidence here. What
Yeah.
am I supposed to do? Well, so I remember like snapping a picture of like a calendar that I was there. And I think I tried, like at a certain point, I think I did a selfie of like the Jewish calendar on the wall just to show that I'm there. And I'm is this what I should be thinking about right now? Because
Yeah.
there was nothing that
Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
bring back. It's not like, and I didn't see a flyer or anything there that said, so and so died on this day.
I
And
remember my best friend Kelly, her mother, when her mother passed away, we went to the funeral parlor and I had to go to the receptionist to get, it was so awkward. Like we were crying. It was so sad. She died unexpectedly. And I had to go to the receptionist to get a freaking letter
Oh
with the
God.
letterhead. She had to write it with the date. I had to submit it. I mean, it was so awkward to say like to my friend whose mom just passed away. Like it's just weird. And then that's what I'm thinking of because I'm so nervous that I'm
Yeah.
not going to be able to provide the proper proof as to like my best friend's mom dying. Like it was awful. Like
I don't
so
get this.
yeah.
I don't. That reminds me of Ferris Bueller's Day Off in the scene, like like when they were joking, and he was like, like the principal was joking with them, and he's like, he thought he caught Ferris Bueller, so he was like, his girlfriend wanted to take off, right? And that she had to go to a funeral. He's like, yeah, just you produce a corpse, and we'll release, we'll release Sloan, and then the guy who was fake said, "Did you say you wanted to see a body?" "Oh yeah, that's school policy." And I was like, "We're getting to that point, It's
Yeah.
like more or less, well, we're gonna have to start taking
Right.
pictures of dead bodies now,
Yeah.
like to show that we were actually. But the main point is, why don't they believe us that we're at the funeral? Like, is it got to the point that so many people are lying that they
About
would
people
actually
dying.
make,
Right.
yeah, that they would make up a lie that they're going
Yeah.
to a funeral,
Okay.
and they're so intent on hours, the exact hours you're
Yeah.
there, and they make
Yep.
you come back. Like I remember we went to one during the day, and we came back to work, right? And I did a mass prep with a teacher after the funeral.
It's like
Do you guys remember that? Well, you
not
guys were there.
yeah, not
You know, like,
not specific like
I went to the funeral and
Hello.
I went back during the day at work, right? And then I came back to work and then they made me do a mass prep with another teacher at the end of the day.
wait, is this when we got you the suit?
No,
No,
it
that's
wasn't for
different.
me. This was somebody that we knew lost somebody.
Okay.
And so we go to school, right? Right?
Right.
And
I
and then
remember this. Yeah.
and then we go to the funeral, which is a
Yep.
pretty dramatic one. We came back, right? And then we're still working in our suits and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm doing a mass prep with another teacher who was at the funeral. And we're shook up and we're keeping, and we have 500 kids there and we're still doing it. It's hell, man. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, Talk about not looking out for our mental health. Let's give you the worst possible scenario after you just went to a funeral.
Like,
Yeah.
unbelievable. 500 kids. So we're like crying our eyes out.
Yeah. And you walk back in.
Well, this was a good one. Another good one.
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
books.
Sorry to be a bummer at the
No,
end.
no,
but
I'm glad you said that because
I,
I wanted to hear that.
you know, that one just always baffled me. Now that you know that you
frozen.
you,
Hello.
Oh, look.
you are frozen. Bergie, you're frozen.
Oh, when I moved her picture, she disappeared. Oh, she's back.
Oh, okay,
You're back.
there you go.
I don't know what the hell just happened.
Well, this has been a very good one, guys, and I think an important one because there's a lot of educators who have that stress in the morning, definitely about calling out. So we hope we ease some of that tension and brought light to some of the issues teachers have to go through when they want to call out, or students, some creative choices that they've made through the years. And we're going to wrap at that. Maddie Kate over here with Rob and Brug, and catch you next time on Playing Teacher. Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Bye.